Hello, this is Manesh Patel with ichimokutrade.com. Today is July 27, 2016. In this workshop, we're going to discuss rehearsal for profits. What do I mean by that? The best way to describe this workshop is I'm going to talk about a sports analogy. If you look at all the successful sports players of the world, from the past to today, you'll see that they have one characteristic in common. Majority of those athletes will tell you that the reason why they're successful in the sport today is due to their prep work that they do with their body, their mindset, and so forth before the game. Majority of the most successful athletes out in the world, they spend 90% of their time preparing their bodies and mindset before they actually play the game. When the game comes around, that's where the other 10% comes in, where they just execute everything that they had rehearsed for before they even get there and play the game. The same thing traders really need to do in order to sit there and trade. If they do that, then they'll actually be successful. And what do I mean by that? You need to sit there and rehearse and practice in order to, before you even sit there and start looking at any charts. You need to sit there and have your mindset prepared to analyze and look to see what a good trending chart looks like before you actually look at a live chart. One of the things I do is I go for a rehearsal, a slideshow rehearsal every morning before I even look at any charts. Today I'm going to walk you through that slideshow rehearsal that I go through in order to prepare my mind before I even sit there and start to trade anything live. So let's go through and start walking you through that now. Before we begin, let's go for a disclaimer to state this is for education use only. We're not soliciting you buy or sell any particular instrument. If you do so, you're doing that at your own risk. All our information is owned by EII Capital Group, cannot be copied or distributed without our written permission. We are broker neutral, so we support all of charting and brokerage platforms out there in the world. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using TradeStation for demo purposes. Reason why is we've developed a slideshow which goes for currencies and futures, which allows me to practice for that. Before we begin, here are our contact details here. You could email us here at info@eiicapital.com, or you could call us at any of the office locations there, and here's other resources that we have available. Okay, so let's go straight to the charts and rehearsal. So over here, what I've done is here's my layout for rehearsals for currencies and futures. The goal here is to basically see exactly what's going on with the higher time frames, recognize the instruments that are trending in the higher time frames, that are basically trending on the higher time frames, find the support resistances on the higher time frames, and then also see exactly what's going on with the swing trading time frames, which are going to influence those higher. So we have in the top left hand corner a daily time frame, top middle will be weekly, top right would be the monthly. So the top group here basically represents the higher time frame. The bottom two windows here are the swing trading time frames, which basically can hurt or help the higher time frames. Okay, so my goal is to always look at the higher time frames, and then when needed I could look at the swing trading time frames to see if they're supporting the higher time frames. My goal is now to sit there and go through all the instruments out there from currencies and futures and sit there and go through a rehearsal and see exactly what's trending, what's not trending, why is it not trending, and so forth. So I've set this little slide deck here for a 15-second interval. I'm going to click it here and it's going to start in a minute. So the first instrument we have is Australian CAD. You could see on the monthly time frame it's consolidating here, and you could see that the consolidation pattern is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. You could see from the swing trading time frames they had a chance to go bullish, really didn't do that, so that thing's just consolidating. Australian Switzy here, you can see is bearish trending here, but it's stuck in a pullback phase between the red and the green, where it's trying to get to the green here on the monthly time frame, but you could see the swing trading time frames are basically going nowhere right now at all, so it's consolidating. Australian yen is bearish trending here on the monthly time frame here, and you could see however it's being held in check by support here on the daily time frame and also swing trading time frame. So swing trading time frames are bullish compared to being bearish, which is not good. Australia, New Zealand here is trying to go bearish here. It's got a resistance here in the monthly time frame that's holding in check. The only thing that's stopping it here is basically the daily support here along with the swing trading time frames, especially the 240 minute. Australian USD is basically going for a pullback right now. The support is basically red line on the monthly, trying to get to the green line on the monthly too. You could see that the swing trading time frames are still bearish, so it's trying to stop it from going to the monthly green line up there. CAD Switzy, it's consolidating with a bearish tail between the red and green on the monthly time frame. You could see that swing trading time frames are basically consolidating right now, where it had a chance to go bearish, but then it just had a huge movement up, which is basically consolidating. CAD Yen, this is bearish trending here, trying to bearish trend on the monthly time frame here. However, basically you could see here that the swing trading time frames had a little pullback here. Really needs to hold this resistance here in the 240 in order to continue its journey downwards. Switzy Yen, same scenario as CAD Yen. Here it's stuck at the monthly cloud up here. You could see that basically swing trading time frames is going up. This resistance here in the 240 is basically controlling this instrument. As long as it holds that resistance here in 240, it could still keep on going down on the monthly time frame. Euro Australian is basically consolidating, doing really nothing at all. Daily looks like it's bearish trending, but the swing trading and the weekly basically tell you it's not really bearish trending. Reason why it's just consolidating a big long pattern here. Euro CAD, really not doing anything at all. It's consolidating. It's not bullish or bearish. You could see it's just sitting there consolidating. Weekly sitting there trying to go bearish, but has not succeeded, especially since the swing trading time frames are bullish right now. Euro Pound, you could see basically here it's stuck here at this monthly resistance level here. However, you could see the swing trading time frames are consolidating here. It has a high probability of possibly pulling back to the monthly support as the swing trading time frames go bearish. Euro Yen here trying to go bearish, start a bearish trend on the monthly time frame. However, swing trading time frames are interfering with it, especially the 240, which is controlling that instrument right now. Euro NOK, you can see is trying to go bullish here on the monthly time frame. However, it's being held by this resistance on the weekly time frame there. If it could conquer that weekly resistance, basically this thing could sit there and start trending to the upside, retest the high, and can possibly keep on going higher. Euro New Zealand here is trying to sit there and go bearish. Here, if you could see, it's being held by the daily support here and also the 240 minute, where it's basically in the cloud right now. So if it could get below the cloud on 240, this thing could start a trend to the downside. Euro USD is basically bearish consolidating, being held by that resistance on the monthly time frame. As long as it holds this 240 resistance here, this still has a high probability retest low and keep on going lower. Pound Australian is basically stuck at the monthly top of this cloud here, and you could see here that the swing trading time frames are in a state of influx right now, where the 240 is controlling everything right now, but it does have more of a bearish tilt. Pound CAD stuck at basically the monthly cloud right now. The swing trading time frames had a chance to go bullish, still not doing that. It's consolidating. The 240 support here is controlling things right now. Next is Pound Switzy. Pound Switzy is trying to break down on the monthly time frame, be bearish. However, swing trading time frames are not ready to go bearish at all. They're consolidating. They are squeezing a little lower here, so this could sit there and break down soon. But this 240 needs to conform in order for it to do that. Pound Yen, this is trying to go bearish on the higher time frame, the monthly time frame. Again, the 240 minute is interfering with things. As long as it holds that red green line here in the 240, still has a high probability going bearish. Pound New Zealand here, just like all the other pound currencies, this is trying to go bearish on the monthly time frame. Again, it's being held in check right now with the 240 minute time frame. Next is going to be Pound USD. This is basically bearish on the higher time frames, and if you look here on the swing trading time frames, consolidating. Really needs to just break this consolidation pattern. If it does, this is going to sit there and tank to a new level. New Zealand CAD here, consolidating with a bullish tilt here on the monthly time frame here. You can see that the daily resistance here is basically holding in check, which is also the swing trading time frames. If you break it, this thing could start a trend to the top side. If it doesn't, it's going to consolidate more with a bullish tilt. New Zealand Switzy, this is really not doing anything at all, basically consolidating right now, and you could just see all the time frames are in flux. However, it is at a daily resistance, which is stopping it from going up right now. Next is New Zealand yen. New Zealand yen is stuck at the monthly cloud right there. That's what's stopping it from breaking down. You could see that basically that monthly support has caused the swing trading time frames to stop going bearish and now go for a pullback, but they're basically consolidating now. New Zealand USD is basically going for a pullback. It's bearish, but pullback stuck between the red and green, trying to get to the green. However, the 240 is stopping it from going bullish right now. So if it could sit there and break the support here, it could continue to keep on going down. US CAD is basically bullish trending, being held by this monthly support there, trying to get to that monthly resistance level there. You can see the swing trading time frames are hesitating a little, but they're still very strong to go bullish. US Switzy just consolidating, really not doing anything. Swing trading time frames are bullish. However, just basically got you to the top of this consolidation pattern there. Really needs to break out that level right there in order to continue the trend to go upwards, which would be the top of the monthly consolidation pattern. US yen here, this is basically going for a pullback, major pullback right now to the top of the cloud on the monthly time frame. What's being still bearish as long as it holds this 240-minute green line right there, which is controlling everything. Now we're in futures. This is soybean oil. You can see the higher time frames are bearish. The swing trading time frames are still bearish, but they're a little consolidation pattern here, which could yank this thing upwards, but right now they're still very bearish strong. This is now basically corn. You can see corn, higher time frames are bearish. The swing trading time frames are consolidating here at the bottom. As long as it holds a flat green line here on the 240, this will still remain to be bearish, but the bearish momentum is dying down fast. This is cocoa. Cocoa here in swing trading time frames is bearish. However, it's consolidating, a big consolidation pattern on the monthly time frame, and you can see that even clearly on the weekly time frame here. Okay. Next is going to be crude oil. Crude oil is basically bearish trending right now on the swing and higher. However, it's being held in check by this weekly support level right there. If it could break that, then this thing could go a little lower. Next is cotton. You can see cotton here looks bullish on the swing and daily and weekly. However, all it's doing is getting to this resistance level here, which is basically that flat green line right there, which would be equate to the bottom of the cloud there. So even though it looks bullish, it's still not completely bullish. Dollar here, dollar futures, you can see this is bullish here, being held by that green line here on the monthly time frame. What's stopping it from going bullish completely is basically this weekly resistance levels right there. It's got to get above the cloud in order to sit there and continue to go up. This is E-mini S&P 500 futures. You can see basically it's bullish trending on the higher time frame. Little consolidation pattern here on the swing trading, but it's still very bullish. Next you have is basically feeder cattle. Feeder cattle is really not doing anything at all. It's trying to break down bearish on the monthly time frame, but the swing trading time frames are just stopping it, and you could see that here, especially from the weekly time frames here, but it's still very heavily bearish. Next is basically you've got the 5-year treasury notes. You can see it's bullish trending on the monthly time frame, being held right now bullish with the weekly support is basically what's stopping it from going bearish completely right now on the swing trading time frames. Next is basically going to be heating oil. This is bearish trending right now, went for a little pullback here. The weekly support is basically holding it from sitting there tanking even further right now, which is the key level right now. Next is going to be coffee. Coffee is bearish trending here. Looks like it's trying to go for a pullback right now. However, the swing trading time frames are stopping it from a bullish pullback on the monthly time frame because the swing trading time frames are trying to get it to retest that monthly red line and break it. Next is live cattle here, basically consolidating here, trying to break this bottom support right there, but you could see the swing trading time frames went bullish, so this thing's just consolidating an ugly pattern right now, going back and forth. Next is lean hogs, same thing. The swing trading time frames are bearish. However, they basically got to the weekly support, held it in check, and basically everything started going up from there. Next is NASDAQ futures. You could see that this is basically bullish on the higher time frames, even swing trading where it's not even consolidating. So this is stronger than the E-minis, and you could see it's trying to retest this all-time high right there and trying to break it. Next is basically natural gas is bearish trending here. It's being held in check by this resistance on the weekly time frame. And you can see that from here right there. And you can see the swing trading time frames are just trying to set up to go bearish again. If it does, it'll go to the weekly support. Next is oats. Oats is bearish, trying to bearish trend here. However, it's stuck in a little consolidation pattern here. If it could sit there and break that bottom of the consolidation pattern, it's all set up to go bearish nicely to the downside. Next, as far as orange juice, you can see that this is basically bullish on the swing trading and higher time frames. So this is ready to go to keep on going. Next, you have is platinum. You can see it's bearish trending, going for a pullback right now, where it's trying to get to the monthly resistance level of the green line, and you can see that all the other time frames, including swing trading, are bullish. So it's got a high probability to get to that monthly green line right there. Next, you have is basically gasoline. Here you can see that it's trying to do a bearish trend here. Everything's set up except for the swing trading time frames. They were bearish, but they're going for a pullback right now. The key is that they need to sit there and start breaking supports in order to go bearish again. Rough price here, you can see the higher time frames are bearish along with swing trading time frames. So this is a nicely trending instrument, which no one really is talking about, but they should, because this is nicely trending downwards. Next, you have is soybeans, and if you look at soybeans here, it was trying to go bullish. It's consolidating, really not doing anything at all. Swing trading times were bearish. Now they're trying to go for a pullback. The key thing for bearish is that 240 resistance on the green line. Next is sugar. Sugar here was bearish trending, trying to go for a pullback, trying to get to that yellow line here on the monthly time frame. However, the swing trading time frames are bearish and stopping it, so it's trying to force it to go back to this weak monthly support right there. Gold, mini gold here, you can see that it's basically trying to get to the monthly bottom of the cloud right there. However, the 240 is controlling it right now because price is going for the cloud right now. So if it could keep on going for the cloud, then this gets it there, get to the monthly bottom of the cloud. Next, you have a soybean meal. You can see it's consolidating with a bullish tilt right there, being held by that monthly support. That monthly support is basically stopping the swing trading time frames from them continuing to go to the downside. Next, you have Russell futures. They're basically bullish trending on all time frames right now. It's trying to retest this high, the all-time high right there, and break it to keep on going higher. Next, you have is your 2-year treasury notes, and in here you basically have bullish trending on the monthly time frame. It's being held by the support on the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame support is stopping the swing trading time frame to going bearish anymore. Same thing here. 10-year monthly time frames bullish. The swing trading time frames are not going bearish because it's being held by the weekly support right there. $30-year monthly time frame is bullish. The swing trading time frames again are being stopping from going bullish, even going bearish because of the weekly support right there. So the 240 minutes controlling a lot of these treasuries and stuff like that. Wheat here is trying to go bearish on the weekly time frame. The swing trading time frames are not quite ready yet, but they look like they could be after a minor pullback, maybe up to this green line right there, and at that point they'll be ready to go down. Dow futures, you could see basically is making new highs on the monthly time frame. Swing trading time frames are basically consolidating now, and the 2-hour right here is being holding it down from going bullish. This is silver. Silver here is trying to get to the bottom of the monthly cloud right there. However, the swing trading time frames are stopping it from going bullish, and it's specifically this 240 minute that's stopping it right now. Next is basically copper. Copper is bearish trending right now. However, the swing trading time frames are stopping for going completely bearish because of this cloud here. It's got to break this cloud here in order to start a trend to the downside completely. Platinum, we talked about this here, bearish trending, doing a pullback right now to the green line on the monthly time frame. Everything's set up to go. It just needs to keep on going. So that basically is the rehearsal for futures and everything. You could see that I went through, you could recognize exactly which currencies and which futures are bullish trending, which ones are bearish trending, which ones are at the boundary conditions right now, which ones are major support resistance levels, and then you could also see what time frame is controlling things. If you look at a lot of the currencies and futures, the 240 minute was controlling which way, what was going to happen with the higher time frames. So that's a lot of good information I have before I even start trading. It keeps me focused and so forth. So this is my practice rehearsal in order for me to be a successful, consistent trader when I start trading live with the charts. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give us feedback. Here are our contact details right here. So if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to give us a call or contact us via email. Please note that we do have a lot of video tutorials, other tutorials, and we do sit there and blog a lot of our trades here at the trade tutorials there. Have a good day.